I don't know if it was proven or not, but I heard some things about people were getting the full game like a couple of weeks before it was even released, utilizing the beta and something else online.
So,
I don't.
good news, it seems like any monster corpse you find in the Rotten Vale is something you can harvest for its regular drops.
I'm following you, Owl.
Though the corpse of the skeleton of the Dolometer is not one we can find.
Oh.
Or at least not, well, you can find it, but you can't harvest it.
No,
Well,
no.
I guess that makes sense. The Delameter stuff should be stuff that you like have to earn. That is going to be amazing fighting Delameter in.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
It's not
4K.
something that's confirmed, guys. It's just a skeleton that's in there that we know of.
They
Yeah.
better let us fight it.
I'm just making sure that's clear.
I mean, the fight in 4U was great. I loved fighting that thing.
It was a little slow, but it wasn't Lao Shan slow.
The head of the Dolometer can be seen at the base camp in Rotten Vale, and there are acid puddles that damage those who stand in them.
Acid
Oh,
puddles.
A
Yep.
Delameter thing.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Like the entire body is strewn across.
No, there was in 4U there was a puddle in a certain spot where that was assumably secreted by Delameter.
Oh, okay, I remember. I
That
kept
damage.
falling in there at some point.
I
Oh, yeah,
actually,
no, this
when I
isn't-
run. Go ahead.
This isn't dropped by the Dolometer. This is just something that lies around. Probably
Oh.
from the fucking demon dragon that lives there.
it's Mojo Jojo.
Because don't forget, there's some really mean shit in that forest.
Which is going to be fantastic.
Or in
No!
that corpse strewn area.
Oh. Well, that didn't go as planned.
Okay. So as of right now, the food chain for the ancient forest stacks up as Great Jagras, Kuluyaku, Puke Puke, and Tobikadachi at the bottom. The Anjanath and the Raytheon at the middle, and the Rathlos at the top.
Oh, so Rathalos is the higher.
It's always going to be the king.
That goes figure.
Rathlos, that's as of right now. Don't forget, the Devil Joe's coming to the forest.
Yeah,
Scary.
that'll be DLC.
It's like the
Yeah.
T-Rex of Jurassic Park.
And there's still the fact that we don't know what else could be lingering in that forest.
Yeah, because again, there isn't a full monster list,
Yeah.
and that right there will probably decide a lot of what we get to see.
As long as I can write a monster, I'll be fine.
And
Which
as of right
probably-
now, the top of the food chain in the Wildspire is the Diablos.
Go
Okay, so
figure.
wait, Nergigante is. That is
Nergigante is considered special.
Okay, so
Look.
that's an anywhere type.
Usually
thing.
won't be there.
There are 2 environments that the Nergigante is confirmed to show up in. Well, no, 3. There's the area where you fight the Zora Magdalos. There's the Fire and Ice Hellhole, the Teostra
I
and
just use a cleanser.
Hellfire Peaks.
Aura revealed in the trailer.
I'm not doing what you did.
Gogmazios? I don't know if that's in there yet.
Where'd it go?
Ooh, that would be pretty cool.
God Mazios?
Where'd it go?
It's not been confirmed yet, so maybe.
Oh, please confirm it, Capcom.
Don't forget, they can add a lot of shit later.
Oh, you know what? I think it probably
Wait.
went down into the nest, the lower levels nest.
So
But it went.
3,
it went
5,
up.
or 6.
Yeah,
All
one
right.
of those.
All right.
Could you imagine if they confirm? Could you imagine if they confirm both the Lamadur and Gogmazios and those showing up on the same quest? Like, I
Oh,
could
that'd be
actually see
scary.
that being a thing with this.
Jesus Christ, that would be crazy.
No,
You know what I would
imagine
want? I want
Dolometer.
a new Moran that utilizes the environment of world for something cool.
Now
Like
imagine
something real
what-
big.
Imagine the Dolometer versus
Sir.
Zormagala or Magdalos.
Yep, I
Magdalos
found
is
it, guys.
claimed as the new
Alright.
biggest monster in the series.
See, I got some bombs. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hold on.
Waiting. But
Wait.
there's little ones over here.
Okay.
Also-
I didn't see it there.
Y'all
It
hear
was in
something
the ground.
cool about the
Okay.
Will I reach it in time? Before
Alright.
you guys
Let her rip.
India? We
Boom!
I wanna think. Oh,
That
God damn it, guys.
was beautiful.
I stand by what I
missed
said
it.
though. I want that little beach area to have a Lagiacrus.
Yeah,
that-
that would be.
Shoreline in the ancient
Is
forest.
he confirmed?
No, it's not, but I want it to be because it's screaming for a Lagiacrus fight.
As long as we don't have to fight in the
Yeah,
water.
I can see that.
Also, here's a cool little fact. Hunters can use the glider mantle to ride air currents and reach higher areas in the Coral Highlands.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Oh, considering how fun it was to use the glide cape
Yeah.
in the beta, I can't imagine.
That stuff was
Oh.
great. I don't know if any of you guys here watch or see Apex Gaming, but that was watching him do some of the crazy stuff with that cape.
I usually use it for news.
Yes, Kyrix,
Oh.
all the Lagiacrus. All the Lagiacrus.
I want
Or
one. Too.
Ludicrus. We
What?
deserve
The Lucky Cross is cool, Kyrex. Except when you're fighting in water. Then he can go fuck himself.
We don't. No, Decidius was the annoying one to fight underwater, especially if you were sword and shield.
Everyone
You're
wants
just
to
asking
fight
for
underwater. Underwater hunting sucks.
You suck. Underwater hunting's just fine.
Underwater hunting is. I don't mind underwater hunting, but if you're doing that like I did with a sword and shield the first time you do it, you're not gonna be happy.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what I did.
guys,
Why?
I have something amazing.
What happens if you use a sword and shield if you're underwater hunting?
It takes
It's-
forever and it's super
it-
annoying.
Yeah, it's harder. It's a lot harder. I mean, it's challenging
Oh,
and
like
just
it's
not worth it.
Oh, so like it's not even worth it. Much more challenging than say using a great sword or a long sword.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
Already the sword and shield does less damage than the others. So imagine that with slow controls, so you're not getting the advantage of at least hitting fast, and with a horrible camera.
Yeah,
And range. Don't forget the range.
yeah.
Alright.
I think we'll do a couple more quests for you, Barry, and then we'll rotate out because Kyrix has signed up and he wants to get in here.
Alrighty. I have a topic I'd like to discuss.
I think we'll do 2 more for you.
What's the topic?
It's something that bugged me when I first started playing this game, Monster Hunter. When the demo came out for the first Monster Hunter on the PSP, the one thing I felt that was really weird was how sluggish all these weapons were, and how hard it was to choose one that suited you the best. So my question is, which one's your favorite weapon, and how does it suit you the best?
For
Well,
me,
I
it
will-
would be the glaive.
I was
I
gonna
mean-
say mind if I start that one out because I have a bit of a long slog with that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
In terms of weapons that suit me best, usually it's gonna be I'm kind of stuck on best in terms of charge blade and gun lance, but I'll go with the gun lance because I like the ability to be slow and tanky through combat, but like it provides me with an extremely high defensive capability, and it always lets me bounce back because the attacks are short and like fast. On top of that, the gun lance just offers a nice and brutal power, mixing the ability of defensive power and then having the wyvern's fire, which you can bounce onto immediately after guard pointing an attack, is just really nice. I've always been a tankier and slower player no matter what game I'm playing. Like, if I can play with something that has a really heavy shield and a really good range, then I always go with that, and the gun lance just happened to cover that for me.
I see.
Kyrix says that he's gonna have to go to dinner soon,
Yeah,
so it'll
so-
be fine.
Yeah, okay. So once Kyrix gets back, or if we get more people signed up, which let me post this in the chat again.
Also, good news for everyone in America. The senators are fighting for their jobs.
Oh.
The Republicans are siding with the Democrats on the FCC because they were smart enough to realize, if we don't support stopping this, no one's gonna vote for us, and we're gonna lose our ability to protect our money.
Smart move, senators.
Oh yeah, no. Because
Alan was asked if you do bad decisions, it makes
literally,
bad things.
here's the
Crazy,
funny
isn't
thing
it?
about this is literally the Democrats pulled a power move. They did something that they have by no right should they be able to actually do as the minority. Yet they did that puts the Republicans very much on shaky ground with our generation. The ones who actually understand why the internet and access to it is important.
Yeah.
Because if the Republicans don't speak out in support, they're gonna lose very, very.
Would I assume that most people that vote Republican are old people? So I thought
That's
that
not
was the
actually a very accurate assumption.
If I
Huh.
lost, like, for just as an example, if I lost access to the internet, I would be screwed because that's how I'm doing all of my schooling, is through the
Wow.
internet.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, like, at the moment, I couldn't afford to pay for everything that the net neutrality would require me to pay for, on top of doing schooling, you know, and then trying to currently
It's
build
almost
my
like it was a
TikTok
crazy,
stuff
stupid
recording.
business practice.
All right. There's a couple sand mounds. It's probably in one of those.
I already found it.
And
I
But,
prefer the bone lanes.
of course, and it
because
gets
What the-
everywhere.
it's
What
fast.
the heck were you doing, Owl?
What the? What was
Charging
that?
at it so I can hit it with a mount attack.
Oh,
which
okay.
will,
That's what
actually
you were
deals extra
doing.
damage outside of.
Okay, so there's a bomb in here. So I have 2 bombs. I'm gonna set one down and see if it'll catch it in its mouth.
I'm gonna
should
let my
we
stamina
go-
recover. because
Should
I
we
didn't
go
pop
back
them.
to that favorite weapons question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to that. I was having fun with listening.
Yeah,
to it.
so for me, it would be the longsword, because, well, I like the long swords and katanas,
Oh.
and the dual blades. If anything, it's mainly because, well, the armor and the weapon that I have right now just looks so awesome.
Is that because you know that's the kind of style you adapt to? Like you prefer the speed and like ability to increase your power through different methods? Or...
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say that. I never really thought about it in depth that much.
Speeding combos. So that's why
But I like the
now.
speed that I can hit my enemies at, or any of the monsters.
Yeah. So who's next on that list to answer that question?
I guess me. For me, it will be a tie between the Charge Blade and the Instant Blade. I mean, originally in Monster Hunter 3, I played Sword and Shield, but I kind of hated the low damage I was making, especially when I was playing alone.
Well,
So I switched to Longsword back then, but it still wasn't my favorite. And once I got to 4U, I felt that the new weapons fit me just fine because we had a great balance between doing things at a decent speed without having to be stationary and still making some decent damage.
yeah. See, the Sword and Shield, though, I don't think the Sword and Shield is really meant for, like, solo play. It's more meant for team play when you're playing with 2 to 3 other people. Because
Exactly.
the Sword and Shield is really just a support weapon. I mean, it has decent element, but if you're going for element, you want dual blades.
Yeah. Also, back then, I was very bad with the camera, so things like great swords or things that I needed to have a very better lock on the monster was super difficult.
Ow.
So
Okay.
I needed something that I could hit very fast without really thinking.
Alright, swallow the bomb. Swallow the bomb.
It's not a Dodongo.
So, am I the next one, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's a tough one for me because I'm more of a situational person between the heavier weapons, but if I had to pick an absolute favorite weapon, I think I'd have to say the greatsword probably.
Okay.
He ate it.
Oh,
He
he ate
swallowed
it.
the
Oh,
bomb.
sweet. Okay, now.
But with
Get it.
All right, fish it out.
with World coming, I think that might change to the heavy
Oh,
bow
wow.
gun because I am liking how it handles in World, where I can keep mobile.
Wow.
And
What
all that-
happened?
It hit us back.
It
Okay.
wasn't letting us fish it out.
Okay,
burped
fish
you.
it out. Fish it out.
I'm backing up so you can do that.
No, I was gonna
Damn
try
it.
to.
It doesn't want none of that.
Yeah, I think
What
it's
are you
because
doing?
some of us keep hitting the other people that are trying to fish it out.
I
Sorry
didn't
about
know what you guys were doing. Sorry.
Ah, that's fine.
Yeah. That's kind of my fault. I actually didn't know you could fish it out. I only knew about the bomb part.
Yeah, I didn't know you could fish it out either until a couple of weeks ago.
I remember you could do that with the Goku. That was fun.
Yeah.
Be careful
You know
with
what
the
this
head.
looks like? That monster in Resident Evil 4 in the lake.
The Lago?
Del Lago. Del Lago.
It looks like Galaga.
It acts kind of like Del Lago too.
Yeah.
You know,
French
in the
is-
context of the country and everything, those names are very boring.
Yes, they are.
Because the Lago just means the lake. The lake.
Resident Evil 4 DLC confirmed for Monster Hunter.
Oh wow.
You laugh, but that could happen.
I know that
we
because
had Devil May Cry.
exotic wording is like cool for American stuff, but as a Spanish speaker, it's kind of silly that everything just has these mundane names.
Yeah, because it.
Like Los Ganados is just the cattle. Los Iluminados is just illuminated.
I didn't
Are you
remember
okay?
something
You're sweating
I
awfully.
learned earlier, actually. The Palicos, you know how when you do a multiplayer hunt on this, if it's 2 people, you'll take 2 Palicos along?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a way to have a Palico along with 4 hunters in a world.
Oh, that's
Really?
neat.
How do you do that?
Yes, going out the videos at least, I've seen hunts where the original hunter had his Palico with him. I think it was a drop-in hunt.
That sounds. That
Interesting.
actually is going to be pretty cool. Is having your Palico with you in world, even if you've got all of your hunters. Which
Yeah,
am
it
I
will
the
give
only
more
one who
views because
feels
it's a shame that the Palicos never get much action if you're mostly
Yeah.
9.
To be
How
fair,
about-
in World, the Palicos have a bigger role to play. But that requires you to actually go out of your way to give them that role. You have to hunt down the Grimalkins that will train your Palico in the ways and the tools they need to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically you have to have your Palicos
Like-
trained to be able to, tame certain monsters and ride them.
I mean, keep in mind, this isn't something that it's gonna be like you have to pay to do this.
Yeah?
This is something you just have to find the Grimalkins in the levels.
Oh, that sounds fun. It at least
So-
sounds more fun than the stuff you need to do to train Pelicans in this game.
You just have to go find them out in the hunting areas, and the Grimalkins will offer to teach your Palico skills and stuff.
I
That's
like that. It
sweet.
makes the area more interesting with all these NPCs and stuff whenever you do free hunts. Really smart move from Capcom.
I don't even know if that's just free hunts. That might be something you can actually do mid-hunt.
Like people that give you small quests.
Well, no, it's not even during a normal hunt. I think they'll pop up in a normal hunt. You've seen the Grimalkins that are just sitting around waiting to do stuff like, over here, lead it, mount it, and bring it over here.
Oh,
That's-
you're right. When they throw the nets and shit.
Yeah, you can have that, or if you have a Palico with you, there will be Grimalkins that are just standing around, looking around. If you've got a Palico with you, they might come join you. They might be your bodyguards.
That's
That would
pretty
be
neat.
pretty cool.
Wow.
You've got a little pack of Grimalkins that'll go with you. I
That
had
is
that.
sweet. Oh yeah, that happened on Monster Hunter World when we streamed it.
Yeah, like if Snake
You
does
know,
a two-person with
The
anyone,
message of everything is world is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
here's one thing I really think Snake should do. I don't care if he does it single player or with like one other person from in here. I don't care who. I think Snake should do some hunts where he has the Palico with him. So that he
Well,
can
we
show
have
off
been having
those
some.
little.
I remember a few quests where me and Snake were the only ones in here, and we had our Palicos there.
Oh yeah, no, you can do it with like 2 people. You'll take 2 Palicos, but
Pretty
that's
much.
like Snake should do some in the final beta with the fully unlocked Palico, the fully fleshed out skills of a Palico before we get to the actual game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Snake
Yeah.
should do a couple of hunts on Sunday since it's just going to be Monster Hunter World. Like hunt the
That could be
Jogger,
the first
hunt
stream.
the Baronth, hunt the Anjanath, and go look for the fucking the Pachycephalosaurus looking motherfuckers. Go look for the Jagras and tame and get your Palico to tame some of them. Because it's fucking adorable. The Kestodon, that's what
Yeah.
it's called.
I mean,
A,
looking at the
it's
pictures,
fucking
it just looks
adorable
cute.
seeing your Palico ride a Jagras. It is hilarious, adorable.
That's a great idea for a press stream.
They've done a few videos showing it off. But like,
I'm
I
gonna-
need to research this a bit more so that I can see just if there's any way you can help trigger the taming.
Wait, who is leading this?
I thought you were.
That's-
I was just running.
Wait,
I was
where
just
am
running
I?
with you.
I
That-
thought you were, Mr. Yellow.
I thought I was going into Area 4. I can't read this map at all.
You enlarge it then.
To finish
Alright.
off that topic, I think the bone staff, what's it called? The bone staff, like any other staff or bow, is perfect because for me, it covers a wide area, especially with this handheld game, where the camera is this little nub on the right of
Was it
the
sleeping?
new Nintendo 3DS.
No, it wasn't. It was just staring at the wall like it had no idea what to do with itself.
Okay.
It was like, what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm here to get wrecked.
Nobody
by
likes me. That is true. Nobody likes you. I hate this guy so much.
Actually, this was my favorite monster because it was a snake until I saw Delamadeur. Then I was like, oh, never mind. You just got replaced.
Here, I'm
My
gonna.
friendship with Nayarla is over. Dalamador is my newest friend.
Nope. I am not standing in the way of your screaming adorable.
I just hate this guy because he never stays put.
Oh, he's hugging me. Oh, he's hugging me too tightly. Oh,
Oh,
hugging me
oh.
too tightly.
Well, I
Oh.
just saved
You
you
have to
from
keep in mind,
paralysis,
Berri, that
so-
for you to use the glaive, you need to learn how to use the insect.
What
Because,
the heck? What happened?
because you need to get that red extract, otherwise you're limiting yourself. If you get the red extract for your staff, then you can do multiple hits. It's the most important thing you ever have to do in a hunt if you're using that weapon.
See, now my problem is I can't use the glaive in Generation. I just don't think it plays. I have a hard time building the bugs properly because they've changed how it works since 4U, and like 4U, the glaive is one of my favorite weapons.
That's because in 4U the glaive was broken as hell. Same with the charge blade.
It still is broken.
But it's little less broken.
A little less. A little is like not a whole lot for the charge blade.
Holy shit, this thing just gets its ass kicked when I hit it in the face.
Do we want to pull it away from the door so that people don't
I
actually...
was gonna say that.
Yeah, Barry, you might want to run away.
I'm good at that.
Okay, I got it.
I'm
No.
happy that the king say is way better in World because you can actually aim the goddamn thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Come for me, buddy.
Thank you, right stick. You can actually aim for the goddamn body parts. But yeah, Berri, if you're gonna use the insect blade, you need to learn how the little bug.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to properly control that, but the insect. Otherwise
Basically,
it's just not gonna go.
Like some monsters is a little different, but most of aim that thing to the head, you will get red extract. There are a few exceptions like the Nargacuga, because usually it's the most threatening part of a monster, like its claws or its face or something like that.
Oh, he's
Usually the armor is something like some piece of defense it has, and the white is usually some leftover part like the legs or something.
Armor usually, like, the defense buff is usually on the back or the underside.
Exactly.
Some monsters that is a little different because I'm trying to think of a good example.
I only disagree.
We'll go with Fatalis for example. The tail is actually the defense buff spot. The back legs give you a speed buff, and then the front legs will give you an attack buff. Well, the front leg or the head.
Basically, if you get the red attack buff, you will do two swings rather than one swing of the glaive. So most of the time, you need to get the red extra if you want to do actual damage.
So depending on where I hit it is what buff I get.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just call it back,
Alright.
and you get the buff, and then you can throw it again and get another one. If you
Now
get
my
the
weapon
3
makes
colors, you get an extra buff that makes all your other buffs way better.